Evangel. I'm your host, Grace Myers. In the latest news, after a week since Hurricane Michael made landfall, residents in the southeast are recovering from the storm. The current death toll is 18, but it is expected to rise as there are still many people who are unaccounted for. Unfortunately, there are going to be more fatalities than we'd like to admit, said State Representative Halsey Beshears. If you stayed in Mexico Beach, there's no way you could have survived. I think more fatalities are going to show up every day. The hurricane was devastating not only to cities in residential areas, but also to the crops and agriculture industry. It is estimated that 90% of Florida's cotton crops and as much as 40% of its peanut crops have been destroyed. On Monday, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they are expecting their first child. Currently on tour in Australia, the couple was overjoyed to announce that they are expecting their little one to come in the spring. Amid the news, some concerns have been raised. The royal couple's tour takes them through Fiji and Tonga, where the Zika virus is at moderate risk. Zika is known for causing birth defects in preborn children if the mother is bitten by an infected mosquito. The couple has taken measures to ensure that Meghan is not at risk, altering their schedule to avoid contact with mosquitoes. They have spoken to medical professionals. Paul Allen, who co-founded Microsoft with his childhood friend Bill Gates before becoming a billionaire philanthropist, has died at the age of 65. His death was announced by his company Vulcan on Monday night. Earlier this month, Mr. Allen announced that the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma he was treated for in 2009 had returned, and he planned to fight it aggressively. While most knew Paul Allen as a technologist and philanthropist, for us, he was a much-loved brother and uncle, and an exceptional friend, said his sister Jody Allen in a statement. Mr. Allen met Bill Gates at school in North Seattle. The two friends would later drop out of university to pursue the future they envisioned, a world with a computer in every home, and on the way, they became billionaires. At least 3 people are still missing on Tuesday after some of the worst flash floods in a century devastated towns and villages in France's southwestern Aude region. Officials originally said 13 people died in the floods that raged from Sunday night to Monday morning. On Tuesday, they revised the figures to 11 dead and 3 people missing. The downpours and floods hit a region near the medieval hilltop city of Carcassonne. Mud-swamped villages' streets were strewn with upended cars and debris after raging rivers broke their banks. Water rose to the first floor of some houses. The death toll from a landslide in Uganda last week has risen to 43, and displaced residents deemed most at risk in the disaster-prone region will be resettled immediately. 21 people were injured, with around 800 left homeless. Torrential rains unleashed a deluge of boulders, mud, and water down Mount Elgon, uprooting trees, pulverizing homes, and burying residents in the town of Bukolasi and some nearby villages. Landslides have become more common in mountainous parts of the East African country in recent years because of expanding settlement and cultivation, leaving the mountainside bare and lacking vegetation. Now let's take a look at our weather. Current conditions are rainy and 48, with humidity at 86% and winds coming from the south at 8 miles per hour. Today we are going to be having rain in the morning and in the evening with a high of 50, precipitation 80%. Tonight we're going to be looking at rain and foggy forecast with a low of 41. And then let's take a look at our 6-day forecast. So next week we're looking at highs in the mid-50s, lows in the upper 40s. Nightly forecast looks like it's going to be in the low 40s and mid-30s. So that's all the news we have for today. After the break, Jill Groves is going to show us how to make an all-time favorite, chocolate chip cookies.
Faith inside a church. You can't confine it to a few hours, days, or weeks. You can't share it with some people and hide it from others. You can't leave it on the side of the road to come back for it when you think you will need it later. True faith will shine through in everything you do, wherever you are, and everything you do will improve because of it, because everything we do grows out of it. Evangel University. We all have a need to experience life with others, to not be just another face in the crowd, but to have a small community we can call family. We need to receive individual guidance from the wise and be sharpened by those we live with from day to day. We treasure the traditions of those who have gone before us and form lasting friendships with those who cross our path. knowing that the skills, the memories, and the relationships we've formed will journey with us, no matter where we go. Evangel University.
Welcome back to Good Morning Evangel. I'm Grace Myers, and today we're going to show you how to make my own family's chocolate chip cookies. In the studio with us, we have Jill Groves. She's going to just help us a little bit with mixing all the ingredients, but this comes from my own family cookbook, the Kelly Family Cookbook, and it's just pretty easy. What makes these cookies really special is that it has dry pudding mix in them, which makes them fluffy and just a little bit more sweet. So I already have all of our ingredients measured out, and I actually already have our flour mixed together with our soda and our butter melted, so it's going to be pretty easy. So let's go ahead and mix our sugars. That's plain white sugar, and I have brown sugar. And then, like I said, it's the instant vanilla pudding mix that actually makes these cookies taste really, really good. So go ahead and mix that up for me, Jill.
Okay.
Here we go.
There we go.
And you want to make sure that it's everything's beaten until it's going to be smooth and creamy. We're going to add in some of our eggs. Actually, let's add in our vanilla. Is it looking good?
It's looking good. There
All
we go.
right. Woo, it's okay. All right, we have some vanilla, just a teaspoon.
Okay.
Go ahead and mix that together.
Beautiful.
Looking good. Okay, and now we gotta crack some eggs. So
Lovely.
I'll let you crack one and I'll crack
Okay.
the other. Yeah.
How many? 2?
Just 2. Go. Alrighty, we can just put those in there.
Beautiful.
Okay, so go ahead and mix those together. All right, and here in a minute, we're gonna add our soda and our flour. Don't eat it, you're gonna get salmonella.
Okay.
All right, looks good. Okay, and then we can just add, you don't wanna put all of your flour in at once. You really wanna try to just do little bits at a time, otherwise it's gonna poof everywhere. Alrighty,
Beautiful.
looks good. Okay, we can add a little bit more in. And you can do this with a big mixer at home, or you can do it with a hand mixer. Either way is gonna work, but I like having a little bit more control over it, so the hand mixer works for me.
Perfect.
All right, we'll add a little bit more. It almost needs like one more egg.
Almost.
It's pretty dry. Alrighty. You can turn off your mixer, and then my favorite part, the chocolate chips. I always go for semi-sweet chocolate chips because if you get the really sweet ones, it's almost too much. So
Right.
go ahead and mix those up.
How long do these bake for?
These bake for 10 minutes at 350 degrees or until brown. So I actually have some that are already done for us, and you can see that they're just barely brown and they still are really fluffy and they're not too much. So, all right, and so here's your finished product. You're gonna take these little balls of dough, and it's pretty easy to just put them together, and you can just roll them just like that. And then if you have a baking tray, you can just set them back on the tray about 2 inches apart. And so, but yep, this is your finished product. So,
Perfect.
are they good? Can you try one?
Let's see. Very good.
They're pretty good. Okay, well that is all the time that we have for today. Join us next time on Good Morning Evangel.